discuss open banking in the APAC region. Open banking is already a quite familiar term. In Europe it's rolled out, but in Europe it was rolled out due to a heavy regulatory compliance push. In APAC it's a bit a mix of two things. Also the regulatory compliance part, but also market driven. Fintech companies, other companies want to integrate and have access to the data that the financial institutions have, and can also provide value to the financial institutions. For me, it goes on to 5 points. One is innovation and efficiency. How fast can you innovate? Never fast enough, and there are other companies on the market. Another one is sharing your data pipelines. It's not only with the third parties, but it's also internally that you could use the data for your own proprietary applications. The other one is fostering collaboration and partnerships. Have an ecosystem of partnerships going around and an ecosystem of sharing this data to get a broader audience to your data and to your services. Another one is the data transformation. The data needs to be up to date, needs to be clean, and you need to put effort into this to be able to share it. And lastly is, how are we going to monetize this part of the data accessibility? The promise of open banking. The promise of open banking is empowering your customers and engaging them with them on their own terms. Be more customer focused. What does this do? It helps you to extend your potential reach of your products and services beyond your normal channels. So what are the benefits for the customer? What are the benefits for the bank? The benefits for the customer are transparency for your customer. So the customer not always knows what kind of data the bank stores of them, and they can have a better view of what is there. Yes. So they can get better decisions on credit, on your product development. So it helps the customer better. There is lifestyle integration. You can do banking 24/7 now. A customer can get a mortgage maybe on a Saturday when they have more time for it, instead of making an appointment at your bank. They can do payments. They can buy funds without direct interaction with somebody at a brick and mortar place. So it's much better for the customer because they can do it on their own terms. And it's also more real-time and personal. Like I just said, a customer can get a mortgage or a fund, but they can get advice in real time by a chatbot that can give insights and can give investment advice. So it can be hyper-personal engagement per customer instead of going over large segments of customers. Now, what is the benefit for the bank? Of course, expanding customer reach. You can get more customers if you open up your API ecosystem. Third-party providers like budgeting apps, investment advisors, etc., they can all bring new customers to your platform. With this, you can also generate new revenue. With a good customer data, third-party providers want to integrate with you and give you the new customer base, and you can share revenue with that. And of course, you have to do continuous innovation. You cannot do all the innovation on your own, yes? You have to depend on the fintech companies to have some innovation parts outside of your own scope, but that helps you again expanding the customer reach. For open banking, for the readiness of your open banking initiative, I always have 5 dimensions of it. The first one is adoption of APIs. It's your fintech third-party ecosystem. It's the state of your data. It's how you monetize the data. And of course, the state of your innovation and where you are. So the first dimension is the adoption of APIs. You got 3 of them. You got the internal APIs that you can share internally with your products internally, your apps internally. Yes, to sell products, services, customer insights, etc. Another one is to have relationship with partners, with a vendor together with you as a partner. Yes, you can provide them APIs, they can extend the reach, they can put it in their apps, and they can extend the reach. But here you define the business case, you define the revenue, it's contractually there. Lastly is an external API. An external API is almost like what I mean, a self-service API. You can onboard on the system, yes. You can get a developer account, a developer token, you integrate with the APIs, and there is a fixed revenue model. If you consume X amount of APIs, you pay this. It's a bit like Amazon or Azure, where you only pay what you consume, and it's all fixed, yes. People can just register, sign up for it, and pay for it. Yes. So let's discuss the second dimension, third party and the fintech ecosystem around it. So, as the financial institution / bank, you can build an API platform that can be used by fintech companies, fintech platforms, fintech applications. Yes. You could increase your consumer base exponentially by allowing this. So let me give you a top 3 of categories where fintechs and banks collaborate. It's document digitization, robo-advisory, and RPAs, robotic process automation. So let's discuss the second dimension, third party and the fintech ecosystem around it. So as the financial institutions of database transformation, the bank builds a data platform. What is important on the data platform is that you keep the data clean, that you put insights on it, and then you can share it internally, externally. But also, data can come from third parties and from your own bank channel into it, enhance it. Of course, there are regulatory concerns here. Information security, data privacy, data governance, the accuracy and reliability of the data, and the lack of a single customer view. The first 3, they are mostly defined by the regulatory compliance that you have in your country. But the accuracy of data is something every institution struggles with. So you have to put some time and effort into cleaning it and making sure it's up to date what you provide there. And the lack of a single customer view is something I've experienced many times. When you make new products, there will be new customers, they will be in a different system there, and other customers with other products will be in a newer system or a system of another vendor. Making these aggregated views costs time and require an investment. So the fourth layer is, how do you monetize this data? I've been talking about the data augmentation already, where we add sources to our already existing data, which can be internally by aggregating different kinds of data, or externally by getting data and improving it and get a richer consumer data. Another one is, of course, you produce data. You have data, people are willing to pay for the data and use it. The other one is the producer of a product. This is not just providing the data, but selling your products. You have an index fund. You want to have mortgages that can be bought not just through you, but through third parties. All these kind of products and services you can provide through an API, and third parties can resell this and get referral fees. Yes. Another one is distributor of insights. You have all the data, you can make market trend predictions, but also you have the customer data and you can give them insight in their own spending habits, in their own lifestyle, and put them on the track for certain products. The other one is insights as a service. You have this insights, you have this market data, other people could benefit it, investors could benefit from it, or other banks could benefit from it. And lastly is building the platform, building a self-service platform where third parties can get your APIs and work with them, can inspire more innovative companies that you didn't think about to use your APIs and come up with something completely new. So the fifth dimension is the state of innovation. So how do you innovate? This is a big question, especially when you're a very large organization. So there are, for me, 3 characteristics when a bank is ready to innovate. First, the knowledge and data management. This is how do you learn from your data? As I said, data is many times in different locations, different business units and teams have this information. It's not aggregated. It's to work on a knowledge team that has a view of all the data and can aggregate and enrich it. The second layer is the business turnaround. Budgets and larger companies are not known for the quick turnarounds, or as they call it in startups, pivots. Yes, they cannot pivot quickly on it. So it takes a bit more time for them to do it. But learning how to shorten these decision moments to go in the right direction is very important to go quickly. Of course, you cannot do the same like startups can do. This is why you open up the APIs to the third-party ecosystem, so that you have that part also with your own. Last is the cultural capital. People are not known for being willing to change. They love the status quo on it. So how willingly are your people to implement these changes? How are they to innovate, to think about new things instead of the things they were already doing? That's a very important part also. You have to foster it, but you can also feed the culture in your company to be more innovative by doing hackathons or any other kind of service. So lastly, what is the end goal? What is the holy grail of the open banking part, in my opinion? It's a non-existent English word, I think. So English is not my first language, but it's called platformification. In the DevOps world, platform exists already very long. You have the developers in your department making new systems, setting up infrastructure, etc. costs time. They made a platform so it's easy to consume resources, databases, compute, RAM, to get it off in a self-service way. So platformification, in my opinion, is the same route to go with open banking. What are the key reasons for that? It drives open standard connectivity. If you think about everything in your bank as an API first, you're gonna create open API specification on it. So you're gonna standardize processes around it, and you're gonna facilitate sharing internally, externally. Also, creating a low-code development environment. As I said in the ops, the developers can self-service for their infrastructure. They don't need an engineer anymore for this one. With the low code, it means that people that know the business, that know the data, don't have to write code to aggregate data, visualize data, because you have visual tools to do this. Like a rich text editor, you can do it this way also. And last, on this one, a key reason to do it, create an app marketplace and reduce runtime. The app marketplace is somewhere where you can give your services away, where people can go to. But also third parties maybe can add their applications based on your services in that ecosystem. Think about Google Play, about Apple, the App Store. You can create something like this. And then people know it's secure, it's compliant, all these applications, they're safe. So you give an extra value to your third party also. Now, what are the key characteristics of a good banking platform? First of all, ease of integration. What does that mean? It means you give, for example, a sandbox to developers, where developers can interact in a sandbox environment with your APIs, so they can play around and see what comes out and how it works. It can also show how easy your APIs are. This is very important. A good documentation, how to use your APIs with good code snippets with it, that makes life easy for the developers to work with. Another one is having good scaling tech components, so that it's easy to share services, but also when the services get consumed, that it's easy to scale. And in the end, be a full service platform provider. So you manage everything. As I said before with the ops platform, it's the same. It's a self-service platform, but you're sure the hardware scales, there is regulatory compliance, we update for security, you can monitor the consumption, you do access control restrictions that are maybe managed also from the third parties, so that they can give different layers of security there. So these all define a good characteristic of a platform. And I don't think the platform is something to be as the first priority to work to, but I hope with this presentation I could give you the steps, what you need to be doing and what you need to be working on, and the end goal to come to a good platform where you can share data and monetize this data in a very good way.